Hello there, lovely folks of YouTube. Ren here. It is June. My garden was a little neglected at the end of May because I had to take that unexpected trip to Chicago. But I'm back. I'm doing my best to get things back in order. Regardless of the heat, it's not terrible today, but it's been in the 80s and my body doesn't like to sweat, so it's a struggle. But anyway, why don't I take you around? We'll talk about what's been going on, okay? So, blueberries. Yes, I do have, the blueberries are almost ready. I need to put bird netting on them. I have a feeling the birds have actually been eating some of my blueberries. I just can't be asked to put the netting up until it's like the literal last minute. So that's what I'm going to be doing possibly later today. I have this little bush over here. My little baby bush here also has a nice fat juicy cluster as well. And then the other thing that is starting to put up some fruit as well is my raspberries. So I actually have two in here. This one, not quite ready yet. That's actually a black raspberry. So you can see they look a little bit different from the regular raspberries. The fruit is kind of shinier, and it tends to make a smaller fruit as well. Whereas the regular raspberries are here. And you can see like the fruit is kind of more dull in color and has larger pips as well. Here, let me take you back over here by the cold frame real quick before we head elsewhere. I do have a couple cool things here. This little guy right here, that is my henbane. So it has been flowering up its stalk. I had it here in the cold frame to try and protect it from bugs, and it hasn't been 100% successful, but at least it's gotten to bloom for me, and I do have at least one little seed pod that's forming on there. And then of course these little guys here, you can see they've also been hit by the bugs a little bit, but they're still growing and happy. And this little guy right here, look, you can actually see the root on it a little bit, kind of poking up out of the ground. Those are my mandrakes. You remember they were the little teeny tiny things? Now they're getting bigger, so that's exciting. All right, vegetable beds. Vegetable beds are actually where I've been spending most of my time. Oh, yeah, I know. This is very stream of consciousness for me, so I came back to find that guy basically looking like that. That was my big, juicy, fat mullein that was getting ready to put up a nice big flower stalk. I don't know what happened. He was fine and happy when I left, and I came back and he's looking like this. I left him there because he's shading the soil and preventing any new weeds from growing in. So until I am ready to plant something new in that place, I'm going to leave him there. But I was sad. I was very sad. So, but some of the guys next to him, you can see my fennel is really going crazy. The chives are just about done blooming. Spearmint is doing what mint always does. I do have a new anissis up there. I'm trying it here. It seems to like it so far. The real test is going to be whether it comes back next year, because that's the thing I've always struggled with. Anyway, veggie beds. So this is the one that has most of the action going on in it right now. You can see my tomatoes are doing very well. Starting to set some flowers. Cherry tomato. That's a Costelluta Fiorentino. Some kind of rainbow tomato. I don't know. I bought it from the like local high school plant sale. The students there grew it, so we'll see. And then these last four guys are mortgage lifters, which is one of my favorite slicing tomatoes. And this one right here has a little baby tomato. I usually get tomatoes around 4th of July, so we are on track for that. The Swiss chard is interplanted in here. You can see, maybe you can see, yeah, I'm pretty sure you can see where I've harvested some of it, and it's still like, it's ready for harvest again already, so. And then I have my two zucchini plants here, which are starting to set some flowers. So hopefully in the next few days I'll have some zucchini. This one right here, look, there's a couple little baby female flowers right there. So these big mama jamas right here, this is actually my fava bean, which you can see. Oh, look at that. Look at that. So I'm going to collect those when they're dry and use them to make my fava bean soup. It's actually got, there's a few little flowers still up at the top here. Let me see if you can see that. It hasn't fully opened yet, but you can see that distinctive look of the fava bean where it makes the white flower with that pure black splotch on it. Super cool. Marjoram likes this spot too. This is actually getting ready to bloom. I'm going to have to cut that down so it'll grow and harvest that. And then of course my carrots are getting huge, and I have peppers hiding in the carrots. Peppers actually are okay with a little bit of shade. They get sun scalded otherwise, so they don't mind the carrots kind of being around them and sheltering them a little bit. 4 of these peppers are this thing right here, Gypsy Hybrid. Not too keen on, I don't know. It's the closest thing I could find to a banana pepper, unfortunately. Because I didn't start mine from seed. And then these other 2 that are really hiding in there are jalapenos, because I don't need more than 2 jalapenos, really. Spinach is bolting, which is fine. You know, spinach doesn't like the heat, it bolts in the heat, but I'm actually planning on collecting that seed right there so I can plant spinach again in the fall, because that's really the best thing to do, is just collect your own seed. Same thing with the peas. You know, the peas are pretty much finishing up. There are still a few pods on there that are probably edible, but a lot of them are just like this thing right here. That seed is going to be good for planting next year. I do have green beans planted in this bed as well, so this little kind of empty, narrow strip right in here, you can see I ran my soaker hose not too long ago. That has some green bean seeds planted in it, and I do green beans in succession because otherwise you will get way too many green beans all at once. So like I planted some here, and then in 2 weeks I'll plant some here, and in 2 weeks I'll plant some here, and in 2 weeks I'll plant some here, and just kind of cycle through them like that. My little shade bed here, you can see the parsley is just popping off. I did plant some cucumber in this bed along this trellis here yesterday. Scallions are doing their thing. They're almost done with the blooming, and they're starting to put up some new actual leafy growth again. I do have 2 little broccoli plants that haven't really done a whole lot yet, but you know, there's still time. And then of course the lettuce is also bolting. I need to harvest that before it gets too bitter. The last bed over here, of course, is my sad asparagus bed, which is next in the rotation for weeding, as you can tell. So I did plant one of my strawberry plants in the middle here, so I'm hoping to kind of underplant the asparagus with some strawberries and see if that will help keep some of these weeds under better control. And we'll see what happens. So, new plant back in this little weedy corner. I don't usually go back here because this is basically where I keep all my junk, my compost bins and everything like that. But I planted this guy right here not too long ago. I think it was one of the last things I did before I left, actually, and it's obviously happy because it's starting to set seed now and flower. If you don't recognize this plant, you need to keep a good look, sear it into your memory so when you encounter it in the wild you can know. This is stinging nettle, Urtica dioica. I'm probably mispronouncing that, but you know what, whatever, I'm an autodidact, sue me. Let me see if we can get close enough. It's really hard to pick up on camera, but all these little stems and the undersides of the leaves are covered with these teeny tiny little glass-like needles, and those needles are filled with histamine. So when you brush up against them, not only does it feel like a shard of glass has just injected itself into your skin, but it then squirts histamine into your system, which of course is the same thing that causes allergic reactions in our bodies. So if you do get hit with stinging nettle, best thing to do is to get an antihistamine. You can just use an antihistamine cream, like a Benadryl cream, and that would probably help a lot. So strawberries are actually done. They still have the netting on them because I haven't done jack shit, but you know, they're done. I need to take that netting off of them and move them over to the blueberries and raspberries. Apples are actually looking really good this year. I'm kind of surprised. We've gotten this far without any major hiccups or bug infestations, so hopefully it stays that way. I'm probably going to spray them sometime this week with neem just to be safe. I'm going to wait until after it rains though, because it is scheduled to rain tomorrow. So, and you can see this one's looking really nice too. So other one was my Arkansas Black. This is my Albemarle Pippin, and then of course this little guy right here. Holy moly! Look at this branch. It's just like so saggy with all the apples that are on there. It's just like, I can't take it anymore. All of the branches are like that. They're, like, all these branches are dipped down way lower than they should be because of so many apples on there. This little one over here. So I did get, oh thank goodness it's still alive. Ugh. Way back in the corner there, I have a new hydrangea. That is my awkward corner where I've been really struggling to grow anything. It needs water. I can see from here that it needs water. So I'll throw a watering can on it now, and then of course it's going to rain tomorrow, so it'll be fine. That is an oak leaf hydrangea. The cultivar is Alice. I got that because it's my mom's name. So, and then I have this little guy here. This is the only one. I used to have a whole bunch of these, and now this is the only one that's left, and I keep waiting for it to seed itself and spread, but it hasn't done it yet. That is the Verbena bonariensis, the Buenos Aires verbena, which does not make a whole lot of leaves, but really interesting flower on it. And it's a really nice sort of like back of the flower bed flower, because if you get enough of it, you know, it's these really, really tall spikes that sends up these flowers. So like I said, if you have other growth in front of it, it makes a really nice back of the bed statement plant. So sweetgrass of course is here. Something's been walking over it. Probably the cat that comes into my yard, but it's doing okay. This is another new plant that I got. Gooseberry. I found it at the local, son of a bitch. Sorry. So yes, I have a gooseberry here, which I found at the local garden center for a very reasonable price. I've wanted gooseberries forever, so I'm excited. And the reason that I put out that little expletive is because look at who's there. Look at that. That's my Datura plant. Those little suckers always pop up where I least expect them. So there it is. There's my Datura right next to my gooseberry that I planted. Well, okay then, Datura, whatever. That's where you want to be this year. That's where you are. Although my other two mullein plants died, these two are still doing well. These are both first year growth, so I'm not expecting them to send up a flower stalk, but they may surprise me. We'll see. So they're doing well at least. I did plant, I just scattered like a bunch of random seeds out in this bed to see what would take, and not many of them did, but there are a few. So this one right here. Okay, I wasn't paying attention to when it cut me off there, but anyway, yeah. Cosmos in this bed. My little horehound is here. This is my wood betony, which is starting to flower now, so there's that. Peony is well past done. Some of these buds don't even look like they opened before they started to rot, which is kind of sad, but again, I wasn't here, so I have no idea what the fuck happened. Alright. Rue is happy. Bootlasia is getting ready to bloom. You can see some of those little flower stalks on that. Rue is not only blooming, but also setting seeds. Really cool looking seed pod on that. Little baby rues are doing their thing. This is one that I'm really excited about. Look, so this is my new rose. The ebb tide rose. I've posted up pictures of that on Instagram. It is a very dramatic rose. It gave me 3 flowers, which you can see the remnants of. But look at this. The new growth stem that it set up has 4 more flowers on it. So yes, this is going to be continually blooming for me. Very exciting. This guy, he's getting ready too. That is my Ella campaign. They get very big, very dramatic. This guy's pretty big too. This is I want to say sorrel? No, Burnet. Greater Burnet. Chamomile. I don't have very much chamomile this year. I was kind of disappointed, but I do have some. It is growing. I'll just have to encourage it. Stuff in pots is doing okay. Sage needs to be watered, but it'll be fine until tomorrow. Same with the lavender. The horseradish is totally fine. My hyssop is doing okay, and I have like a weird random purslane that popped up in there. Lemon verbena, and then of course my rosemary put out a lot of new growth this year. Ugh, sticks. Sorry. This guy that's blooming right here, this is my saponaria, or soapwort. That's one that I might do a video on. We'll see. This other one that's blooming here is my feverfew, Tanacetum parthenium. And of course I have a really nice daylily here, which is just starting to bloom. Look at the color on that. Isn't that cool? It's raspberry something, like raspberry sorbet or something like that. Raspberry something. New yarrow is a little bitty one. It is starting to send up some flowers for me, which I was a little nervous about. this guy's almost done. That's my arnica. These guys are also done, of course. Look at how tall. Look at how tall this got. This was, of course, my foxglove. This thing is like, I'm 5'4" and it's up to my nose. So that's got to be close to 5 feet. Elder is still blooming. You know, these things bloom in succession, so it still has some flowers on it. The valerian is done, of course. Comfrey is popping back up and will send me up some new flowers. There is one. Here's my agrimony. I just did a video on this, which of course was posted up last week, but I actually filmed it earlier today, because that's how YouTube works. You can actually see, there's my little cushion I was sitting on when I was filming that video, because I'm old. My bones need that. This one is blooming. Very exciting. Gardenias. Oh my gosh. I love these flowers so much. They are so fragrant, delicious. They don't grow where I grew up. So this is like one of the things I'm like super stoked about. A steel bay is blooming as well. And then there's these little flowers that are in there, the blue ones. And there's my neighbor's heat pump. I'm drawing a blank on what the name of that flower is. It's a bulb though, growing in amongst the astilbe. So, ethereal spear, I think is the common name of it. I am really drawing a blank on what the regular name of it is. So, another one that's blooming here, that is my meadow sweet, which is another one that I might hopefully do a video on soon. We'll see. I don't know, just depends on where the mood takes me. Now the pond, I will just tell you right now, the pond is very sad right now. We're having an electrical issue where the pond pump has not been running for a while, and it has gotten rather murky in there. Thankfully I don't have any fish, so I'm not worried about that. The only reason I didn't drain the pond, honestly, is because of my my lily pads in there. I don't want them to die, but it has been growing mosquito larvae. However, it has also been growing dragonfly larvae, the naiads. And I'm just hoping that the naiads will balance out the mosquitoes and it won't be too big of an issue. So, anyway. Oh, and now somebody's mowing. I was hoping to get a break where people weren't mowing, but apparently it was not meant to be. So, I am just going to cut this off here. I hope this video finds you well, and I will see you again soon.